Disclaimer, the following video has been marked as not made for kids, and as a result may contain some of the following. Viewer discretion is advised. And now that we have all that out of the way, let's pack it up, pack it in, and let this crap begin. Enjoy, you guys. Take care. Bye. Well, hey, it's me. It's the Chaperoon Chaos Space guy, the one, or the Salotus Chaos guy. Anyway, this video was supposed to have been out for a while, and I've been having a lot of time to look back at it and go, I don't really like it that much. I'm gonna do it again, I think, because goddamn, that last video I did on this took for about an hour, and it was just me talking incredibly intensely about everything. So I decided what we do is we do this video again. I will still talk about the same things, just a lot less, because goddamn, editing that was not fun, and I want to give myself an easier time and also not waste your guys' time, so we're going to start this again. So here we go. As it says in the title, we're going to be talking about the first 5 characters from the Fighter's Pass in Smash Ultimate, what I personally thought of them, what I thought they did for an effect on the game, and just an overall view. I might not talk about everything in detail as just specified. We're just going to pick out like the main points and what I liked about the characters personally / didn't like. But before we start with Joker, I want to give a quick honorable mention to the plant, the piranha plant, simply because it's goofy, it's weird, and I love him. That is all. I don't have to say anything else about Piranha Plant. It's obviously not part of the Fighter's Pass. It's a little DLC bonus you got for pre-ordering and then bought it later if you really wanted it. But no, it's funky, it's cool, it's weird. They need a weirdo character, and I think it did the job good. So, good points on me. Well done, Prant. Okay, so moving on to Joker. If you're looking for a character to like lead in the Fighter's Pass, to kind of showcase what it has to offer, what you can expect, without increasing the expectations to be a bit too high, if you were to put a character like Banjo first, I think Joker was a perfect pick. He's an immensely popular character, part of a franchise that people have come into like existence with because of Persona 5, which is in itself an amazing game I've still yet to play, some of people's best games of the decade as it turns out. And he's just got so much charm to him, and the combat system of his own game is really interesting, so implementing that into Smash Bros. Was really neat to see. Of course, he's third party too, and is also not on the Switch at the release of that. I don't know if Persona 5 is on the Switch at the moment. You guys please do tell me in the comment section below in case you do know, because I didn't do any research on this and probably should have. But regarding what the Fighter's Pass had to offer, being characters you would not expect to see in Smash Bros., Joker was a perfect pick. Third party, not on the console at the time, so we did not have any clue it would happen. And yeah, I think for a leading charge of this rally of DLC, was a perfect pick. So good marks on me. Very good for the start indeed. So then moving on, we got Hero as part of the beginning of the Nintendo E3 of 2019. Unfortunately, the Hero was kind of leaked a little bit. I mean, everyone thought it was Erdrick specifically, well, because of a leak at some point. I don't know what the leak was specifically, but they specified Erdrick would be the character. And, I mean, they were a quarter right. One of them's Erdrick. Because, of course, with the Hero, we got not 1, not 2, but 4 heroes from respective games. Which include the Dragon Quest 8 hero, which made me really, really happy. Because I haven't talked much about it on my channel, but I am a decent Dragon Quest fan. I've only played 7, 8, and 9. 7 I didn't really enjoy much. 8 I thought was really enjoyable on PS2, especially with the voice acting. And I did get it on 3DS, but I haven't played much of it. I need to go back and play some more. And Dragon Quest 9 is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, it's top 10 material. That game was so fun, and I still go back to it from time to time, and when I'm hooked, I'm hooked. But yeah, as a character themselves, I think they animate really well. I love how they look in the game. I love that they like incorporate all the spells from Dragon Quest into the mix with their moveset. And of course, Hero has so many gimmicks to him as well, which is really cool. But that kind of leads to some reasons why I don't like him. So specifically, I'm not a fan of the critical hit system, which most people share, as well as just how the down B works in general. Now, the critical hit system, I don't know why it exists. Well, okay, yeah, I do know why it exists, because, like, oh, it's an RPG game, and in RPGs, you can land critical hits. Like, it's a cute detail, sure, but why the hell is it on a character from an RPG when we're in a game series that also has characters from Pokemon, Final Fantasy, and, like, friggin' so many other RPGs that have critical hits? Like, if this was a finite detail that games had to follow regarding keeping their sort of presence and what they're known for in Smash, then every character should have it. And it's cute, yeah, and I love that the critical hit sound plays and everything, and it's different based on which hero you're playing as from their respective game. Very cute. But, like, that thing just comes out of nowhere, and it's a case of RNG bollocks just messing up your day. Just more damage, more knockback, you're off the stage. Boom. Gone. And this does promptly lead me on to the second point, being his down B. Really creative again. This is the one I think I have the least hate for of these 2 points, because it's generally cute. Give us an RPG menu, bunch of spells to use, pretty cute. The problem is the fact there is so many of them, some incredibly good, some standard, and some piss poor awful, and you're given them randomly at a time, 4 when you activate it, and you have to scroll down the menu to use them. I think there's at least, like, there's close to 20 if I recall. Again, no research, because I'm professional like that. You should all notice by now. But again, like, it's a character that has so much to him that not even the person playing his hero knows what's gonna happen. And yeah, I guess you could say the skill set is making use of what you get and making it work. That could be a good compliment, I guess. I don't know. But when I had to play a character and fight against what the odds give me against my opponent, and then sometimes it makes me win against them, which makes it feel unfair, and sometimes I lose because of it, which makes it feel like the game made it unfair on me, I don't know, it's just a really, really bad mentality, and I just don't like playing as Hero for that one reason. In fact, I believe Hero was actually banned in tournaments upon release because of this whole aspect. Like, because he was so random and you couldn't control what was happening, they banned him. Because friggin' no one knew what was going to happen. You might get critical hits and win the game, you might get Kaboom or Magic Burst and just completely decimate your opponent. Like, Hero was a massive wild box. Like, if you played frigging Hearthstone, for example, Yogg-Saron, it's that. There's just so much to this hero, and you don't know what the hell you're gonna get. I know asking for a rework could be a bit too much, but I would kind of like it if he was controlled a bit more. That way, you have a better idea what's gonna happen with this guy when you play as him and face him. And that way, I wouldn't feel scummy for playing as him, because it's a character from a franchise I really enjoy, and being someone who saw that not many people were happy with a Dragon Quest rep, I would love to kind of push forward and play a bit more Hero to showcase this love that I have, and that there are fans out there who play Dragon Quest and love it. It just feels kind of dirty doing it is the problem. Anyway, now we move on to Banjo, and we can talk about Banjo things. I don't think I need to talk about Banjo, so let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Alright, no, I will. Okay, fine, I will talk about Banjo, because that's kind of the point of this video. And Kazooie, of course. Jesus Christ, dude, I still struggle to process the idea that Banjo's in Smash. It's freaking crazy. Like, seriously, I don't think there is another character we could have gotten at a time like this that really showcases just how far the Smash team are willing to go regarding their characters for this DLC and just making people happy. Banjo is so different from anyone else. There's getting a character in the game that you haven't had any rep for already, which is one thing, but then there's a character who has been dead in general for more than a decade at this point, that was also so integral to Nintendo's history that they went over boundaries and legal barriers, and they worked with a literal competitor, like a console competitor, to make this a thing, and it was done to make the fans happy. Apparently that's the case when I've seen many articles and stuff. Apparently it was done purely because it would make us happy, and that's generally incredible. Banjo-Kazooie just completely captures an aspect of Nintendo's history back in the N64, and of course Rare's incredible legacy working with Nintendo before they were fortunately sold to Microsoft, apparently for the concept that they might have got Donkey Kong Microsoft if they did that, which was not how that worked, and I wonder if that's why we haven't got anything good from Rare in that time. Well, maybe besides Sea of Thieves, that was okay. But dude, like, Banjo is... I'm pretty sure if Nintendo sold the rights to Banjo, we would have got this so long ago. Like, this would have happened maybe like Brawl or Wii U or something. But this has been a character that people have been clamoring for years now. Like, everybody has wanted Banjo. They've drawn up ideas for his moveset, his victory themes, and his battle themes. Like, this has been something that's continuously gone on, and it was a frigging pipe dream that we never thought would happen. And it did. Like, when that Jiggy went across the screen, oh, Jesus, dude, I could not believe it. Like, I know there's rumors going into it, apparently, that Banjo would make an appearance of some form, but, Banjo means so much in Smash Brothers, and to be dead for so long, and be revitalized in a game that sort of treasures gaming in general was just so cute. And of course, we can't forget the cutscene itself, the cinematic, where he's interacting with the other rare characters. That's just so adorable. And like, it just really encapsulates just how much heart and soul was put into this revitalization of Banjo, even down to the composement of the music. The track they used to showcase Banjo off in the reveal trailer, they got Grant Kirkhope to do that, like the guy who composed the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack back in the day, and Donkey Kong Country, of course. Like, that level of dedication is so admirable, and you look at it all and it's like, you know, we still don't know if this is actually done because it made all of us happy by the people who made the decisions, so Sakurai probably. But like, when you see all these details, it really makes you feel like they cared. To go the extra mile, to go through these legal channels, to work with a competitor to make Banjo a thing was crazy. Because Xbox could have done anything else. Microsoft could have done frigging Master Chief from Halo or Steve from Minecraft. Something that represents their brand. But no, they went for a character that represents more of Nintendo's history than their own. But obviously, yeah, I'm sure it gave them like a decent financial gain, absolutely. But still, dude, Banjo's in Smash. I can't process that still. That is crazy. And everything forming around him, my computer's going to sleep, hang on a second. And just seeing how he's been revitalized in Smash Bros. Like, there was just so much care put into this. It's amazing. I can't process it. My brain's going to explode at this point, so I should probably move on here, but holy hell, dude. Like, even if I may have not played as Banjo the most out of these DLC characters, the next one's actually going to prove that. This really means a lot. And as much as I want Crash Bandicoot in the game, I don't think there is a character that beats Banjo. As much as I want Crash for personal reasons, Banjo is a character that has been dead for so long, and only the old classic people will know who Banjo is. With Crash, he's had his resurgence. You know, he's got his new remastered trilogy, which came out a few years ago. Nitro Fuel came out last year, and of course, we're getting Crash 4 coming out soon. So Crash is getting his resurgence. And new audiences, particularly younger audiences, will begin to know who Crash is due to the newer games, and maybe have no idea what the older games are about. Now, of course, if Crash was also dead still, and was revitalized in Smash Bros. And had no other games before this, then it would probably have the same effect, but it didn't. Anyway, this shouldn't take away from it. Banjo is still freaking amazing. I love that he's in the game. You should love him too. Moving on. We've been talking about this for like about twice the time as any other character so far, so let's move on. So for our fourth character, we got Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury, which I did not know initially going into that reveal trailer. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you people, I did not know much about Terry. I knew he was a fighting game character from a fighting game franchise, but I didn't know much about that past that. In fact, I even thought he was from King of Fighters as his initial fighting game, not Fatal Fury, where he actually originated from, and is only guest starring in King of Fighters, like a lot of SNK properties. So initially, Terry didn't catch my eye too much. In comparison to Joker, the Hero, and Banjo, characters I actually knew who they were and where they came from, Terry was a character I didn't know much about. But, being a person who likes fighting games, I got interested. I knew he had some history regarding some other characters like Geese Howard, who appeared in games like Tekken 7 as a guest character, which is a game I had, and that I knew that the King of Fighters games were available on the Virtual Console, or whatever the thing they call on Switches that you can buy, like, old classic games. You know what I mean? I knew that was a thing, and got interested, so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go back and play some Terry's history. Let's find out who this character is and how he's gonna play. So I bought King of Fighters 98, and I also bought Geese Howard from Tekken 7 to try and get an idea just how Terry would play, and I really enjoyed both of those pieces of media. King of Fighters 98 was, of course, the most accurate representation I got of Terry, mainly because I got to play as Terry. And obviously, you know, it was a bit different when it came to Smash in the end, because of course Smash is a completely different engine and is not like fighting games, usually. So there was things to learn when playing as Terry eventually, but it was nice to just go back and play some of his history and see what the character offered. And even with Geese, like, I mean, Geese was in a Tekken 7 game, so similar to Smash Bros. There's stuff you can kind of take from it and get some expectation for, but it's not going to be how the character will play in Smash guaranteed, you know what I mean? It was just there to give me an idea, but I really, really enjoyed it. But the big thing about this, and the reason why I think Terry is like the biggest character of the bunch for me regarding, firstly, a character I enjoy playing as, Terry is my main currently in Smash, but also just what Smash represents in general, is that I actually went back to play the characters' games they came from. A lot of people forget that they learn what new franchises are through Smash Brothers. Like, when I played Brawl back in the day, I didn't know who Kirby was, I didn't know who Nez and Lucas were, I didn't know who friggin' Ike, Marth, and friggin'... was there another Fire Emblem character? No, I think it was just those two. Yeah, like, I didn't know who those anime boys were, of course I didn't. However, it was through Smash Brothers that I learned who these characters were, where they came from regarding their games, and maybe even went and played some of the games themselves. I went and played a Kirby game at one point, which was fun. I went ahead and played some other games like Pikmin, because Olimar was in the game. Like, Smash Brothers introduces people to brand new games in themselves, and that's how Terry was for me. I got a peak of interest from Terry from seeing him being put in Smash, because if a character is in Smash Brothers, they're usually there because they mean a lot. And Terry is essentially the poster child of SNK at this point. I know characters like Halmaru exist as well for Samurai Showdown, and he's also quite big too. But like, Terry is the very common poster boy of SNK, and he's like the big prime example of what they offer. So when that character is put into a grand stage like Smash Brothers, you're like, you know, this character's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna go and see what games he comes from, and they're really cool. And they were. And now I love Terry. I think Terry is really frigging awesome. And I know there's a new King of Fighters game coming out at some point in the future. I might buy it. I might play it, because what I played from his old game was really fun. And for what I played in Smash Bros. Was also great. But yeah, Terry's just a cool dude. Like, I just love how Terry plays in the game, I love how he looks, and I love how he sort of ignited that idea that Smash Bros. Is there to showcase to you all these brand new franchises and get people interested. Because despite what people thought of the next character, which we'll get into shortly, there are people that went and played their games because of the character's introduction. That's absolutely a possibility, and most likely true. I didn't do any research of this again, and don't know about that, and especially looking at those dislikes, but you get what I mean. There are most likely people that went ahead and played Free Houses because of Byleth's introduction. But considering the fact that Terry did that to me, where I went back and played the games he came from, because it just generally sparked me interest and got me invested in this brand new franchise because of Smash Brothers and his inclusion, it's so cool, and I'm really glad that he's in this just to show me what King of Fighters has to offer, because I'm really interested in that series, and can't wait until the new one comes out, and I'll most likely buy it. So, yeah, cool. Also, this DLC also gave you 50 music tracks from SNK, which is freaking incredible, especially because most of them are remixed, and if you didn't like Terry to begin with, there's 50 tracks here for crying out loud. It's definitely worth the money in itself. You should just get it for the music itself. It's freaking amazing! But now we get to the final character of Fighters Pass 1, the character that I'm sure a lot of people were really itching to see what I thought about them, and that is, of course, Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm gonna start positive, okay? I'll start on the positive points. I generally really like how Byleth plays. Like, I'm not even kidding. It might be a moveset that could be worked with a character like from Monster Hunter, for example, which I'm sure most people would be much happier for. But considering the fact that the main problem I have with Fire Emblem characters, besides how many of them there are, which of course is some of a problem to people, it's regarding just how they all play so similar. Like, obviously there were some changes made here and there to some characters, and Corrin was somewhat unique, but even then, Corrin was still a character that was just kind of, you have a side B that's a charge attack, you have a down B that's a counter, you have an up B where you just go whoosh and fly up into the air and do a sword thing, and it's just like, they did try to change a few things here and there. Robin is still a perfect example of a Fire Emblem character because it's just not your typical Fire Emblem character, which is great. Like, Jesus, when I saw Chrom was put in the game, a clone of Roy, who was a clone of Marth, I just kind of felt like, they're kind of taking the piss here a bit, aren't they? Anyway, I'm losing track. We're about Byleth here, not Chrom. So yeah, I like Byleth's moveset. But now we get to the problems of it. Byleth is a character that I just feel like timing was a really bad thing with them. Honestly, Byleth I think should have been introduced for like the second or third character, because Byleth was just a huge drop in quality from what we'd seen from the other four characters, which are all, of course, third-party characters, people you would not expect to see in Smash Brothers, like they advertised, and they just overall had quality to them that felt like it was really pushed, especially with Banjo's case. Like, Jesus Christ, after Banjo, whew, everyone expected the best, because God, if they're going to put that much effort in a character that they do not own, like, you know, like, what are they going to do for the others? The possibilities are endless with the other characters. Like, they gotta do a great job, right? Byleth just seems like a really safe option. Like, yeah, we'll just put a character from our game in there and end it all off after putting in these amazing characters and disappoint the fan base as well. Yeah, I think time was a big problem with this. They should have made Byleth a whole lot sooner to give us the idea that this will not just be third-party characters, because we were all led to believe they would be third-party characters for multiple reasons. Characters you would not expect to see in Smash Brothers, usually third-party. And the first one we got was Joker, third-party. I just feel like they could have positioned Byleth elsewhere. Again, second or first slot would have been great, I think, in my opinion. And then we would have expected something good still, probably, especially after Banjo again. But we wouldn't have expected too high, and if anything, it would have opened more doors for other characters to expect, like other Nintendo properties. We were all on the hype train of third-party characters at this point, so seeing a first-party representative was bad enough in itself. And then, of course, it was a Fire Emblem character as well. This just might be a me thing, but as much as I don't hate another Fire Emblem character being in the game, it just feels a bit awkward that during the same direct, Sakurai was talking about, oh, how Smash Bros. Is a celebration of video games and it encapsulates all these other universes. And the character that represented this at the time was a Fire Emblem character, which is like our 7th or 8th representative at this point. Like, it just, you probably could have put another character to kind of back up that claim at this point. Because the big thing in the end with this, right, is Smash Ultimate is on a timer. It's on a collision course. It will end at some point, unfortunately. And as much as I want it to be a live service of some form, maybe, like, leave the game as it is after this Fighters Pass 2 is done, leave it for about a year or two, then maybe come back to it later and update it, maybe on a new console. I think it's a really cool idea, because you can't beat Smash Ultimate at this point. It feels impossible. The game is just too big, and Banjo's in it again. Like, there are some crazy characters that they might lose the rights to if they make a new Smash game, and losing it would just make it worse, because if they made a new Smash game afterwards, it would have to be bigger than this one, because it's got to be bigger and better, right? That's how games go these days. So because of this, people are treating it like this is the last breath of Sakurai. This is the last thing he's going to be working on, and then maybe even retire afterwards. So, because of this, they want as many characters from as many games as possible in there, and having a slot taken up by a character who kind of already has a lot of presence in the game just felt a bit bad. Like, why would we get another spot for a Fire Emblem rep when we already have 6 or 7 of them already? And we all know what the hell they do. They all sword slash and jump and counter. We know how they work, right? So, why would they put another one in? It just feels like... It feels like a wasted space, essentially, I think, to most people, and obviously looking at that dislike ratio, that was probably the case for a lot of people. Obviously, for the fan base, this doesn't seem good. It's like, oh, Smash Bros. Is going to end, and we might not get my favorite character. Instead, we got Byleth. And I think that's the big thing of it in the end. There was also the whole Dante for Smash leak going around at the time, which was also made prominent by Devil May Cry posting stuff, as well as there being apparently a Devil May Cry voice actor announcing that Capcom Legend was coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate. That absolutely did not help the game whatsoever. I'm going to mention it here. I'm not going to go into detail because there's just so much information to look at, and I don't have enough time to go into it, but that was not Nintendo's fault, and I will defend them on that. The whole Dante thing, I didn't even know what the hell was on about in the end. Like, Devil May Cry were teasing stuff on the dates that matched when the Direct was a thing, but, like, I don't know what it was in the end. If anyone knows, please do tell me in the comment section below, because I cannot for the life of me figure out what the hell those guys are doing. Except just adding fuel to this fire, apparently. But no, this was not Nintendo's fault. It was horrible timing for them at a time when they were doing their own announcement, and it just melted even further because of it. But anyway, yeah, that was the talk on the Fighters Pass 1. And the plan. Can't forget the plan. Very important plan. Hope you guys all enjoyed this. I'm sorry this took so long to come out, and of course, as you're listening to this, this is a new take on that video that I recorded like months ago at this point and just never got around to editing, because... oh boy, editing sucks, in case you didn't know. Regarding the Fighters Pass 2 video, I'll probably record that at some point in the next few weeks. I don't know when exactly it will be uploaded. Probably not for a while. I might want to take a break after this and work on another project before I do that one in particular. But I have to do that video again, because obviously Min-Min's out at this point. I know what she's like, and I'll talk about her too. And there are a few changes I want to make to my list as well, especially when looking at some things from said Min-Min Direct. So... I don't know what's going to happen. It probably won't happen for a while, but I hope you look forward to it regardless. And obviously, I really hope you enjoyed this one as well. And hey, if you want to talk about your own opinions on Fighters Pass 1, leave in the description below. I'd like to see what you guys want to say about it. But of course, please be respectful of each other's opinions, blah, blah, blah. You know how this all goes. We all have our own opinions. I'm sure there's people who love the Byleth's inclusion, and I respect you absolutely. So yeah, just respect each other. Be good people, you know? Please, I beg of you. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed. I've been Chaos, you've been here, so Florence, as you always are. Until it's time, remember to do the usual, like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, maybe go follow me on Twitter for updates and stuff, because in case you don't know me by now, inconsistency is my quality. There's a very link subscription below, my Twitter, my Twitch, and my Patreon for some cool stuff and stuff. Yeah, I said stuff twice, doesn't matter, 3 times. Most importantly, all things, ladies and gentlemen, take care, everybody. Sayonara.